Hello you guys, I'm Sharzad Morgan, and this video I'm making specifically for teenagers and people in their 20s. Based on my own experience raising children and being a grandmother. So the most important thing that you have to do is put away your smartphones, because the phones are not that smart. They actually are a hindrance to the development of your brain and your social skills and the things that you need to be successful in the world. Okay? Because the temptation is there to be on that phone. It's so entertaining, and you think you're connecting, but you're not connecting. You are removing yourself from interacting with life, frankly, okay? So, this is what you have to know. The people who develop phones do not let their kids have smartphones because they care about their kids' brain development. So, if you really feel you must use your smartphone, limit it to maybe 1 hour a day and try to stay away from social media, which is extremely damaging, especially to young women. Comparing themselves to other women, this is very bad for your mental and emotional well-being. I would recommend no Instagram and no Facebook. I know this is tough, but I'm giving you truth bombs because there's a reason that younger people are suffering with all kinds of issues, and the smartphone is the number one reason, because they found that kids born after 1996 suffer from higher rates of all kinds of issues, and it's been attributed to smartphones. So it's just helping you out here. Number two, you have to get used to dealing with rejection. We all have to deal with rejection. I think that when I was a kid, we didn't get a trophy for everyone. So I think that people, teachers, and parents are not doing you any favors when they're just giving you a trophy for everything. I think that parents and teachers have to encourage you and help you and tell you, yes, you can do it, and be there to support you if someone is mean to you or you're having like a disappointment, because we all have disappointments. That's how we develop perseverance, tenacity, and ability to deal with rejection. Everybody gets rejected. I cannot tell you how many times a guy I liked didn't like me back, or how many guys can say a girl that he liked didn't like him back. How many jobs I applied to where they didn't want me. How many times in calculus I struggled and I struggled, and I had to keep going over and over and over till I finally got it. So that's something you have to develop. And so therefore, if you fail at something or someone rejects you, do not beat yourself up. Just say, I tried. The trying is the important thing. The trying. You can't control the outcome. When you're young, you're going to make a lot more mistakes, and you learn from those mistakes. So when you try something and you study really hard for a test and you get a bad grade, you can tell yourself, okay, what can I learn from this? This is a learning opportunity. And that's how you look at life, so that you don't get yourself all depressed. Like, I tried, this was a learning opportunity, and this is what I'm going to do differently next time. I had to learn to deal with rejection, especially later in life when I was a real estate agent and I had to go door knocking. And a lot of people got mad at me, or they weren't interested in what I was selling. So people who work in sales have to learn to overcome this rejection. Very few people are just born with life just going easy for them. Most of us have to really work at it. So number one, ditch the smartphones and minimize their use because they suck out your time, they keep you from developing social skills, and they have you on social media, which is very bad for your mental health. Very bad. Get used to dealing with rejection. Realize that everything that you don't succeed at is a learning opportunity. And the third thing I would say is that, to the extent that you can, really make sure that your math skills are on point. Try to take as much math as you can all the way through school. If you need to get worksheets or go to Kumon, because by the time you get to like a trade school or to college, if you're afraid of math, half the world will be closed off to you. Don't be afraid to learn skills that have to do with using your hands, like being a mechanic or a plumber, but definitely know how to structure a sentence, give a speech, do math, because those are skills that are going to help you get through life. And also know that we all have to have the ability to provide for ourselves. No one's going to come and save us. And finally, speak kindly to yourself. Like, we all make mistakes. We all get rejected. We all get a bad grade. We all get disappointed. And the difference in life between those who make it and those who don't is being willing to try. Not talking bad to ourselves. Being like, okay, I tried, so I'm going to do better next time. Okay, I got all this wrong on the test. What can I learn from it? How can I study differently? Because it's more about what you try than what you actually get. Okay? Let's see if I have any other tips. Oh, notice the kind of people you're surrounding yourself with, because there's a lot of negativity, especially online. There's so many negative, extreme groups online. Definitely stay clear of the manosphere, because they're going to give you a very negative view of women that's just based on their own extremist views. Be aware of feminists that are also can be very negative and hate men. And in your real life, just be around people that lift you up, that are also striving to improve themselves. If they're like depressed or anxious, you can't save other people. You have to the extent that you can, surround yourself with other people who are also trying to make their lives better. Because our lives are very largely determined by the environment that we're in. The home life, the school, the friends, what we consume online is going to shape a lot how we see the world. Is the world a good place or a bad place? A lot of that is shaped by what we allow in. I just think that young people have it really hard because so many jobs have been outsourced to cheaper labor countries due to automation, due to illegal immigration, and fewer men are going to college. If you go to college, get a degree that you actually can make money in, particularly in something that involves like math and science. Don't be afraid to go to a trade school. And speak kindly to yourself. It's okay to love yourself. Give yourself permission to love yourself, to speak kindly to yourself, and to see this first 30 years of your life as learning. That's the time that we really have to learn the most, to get ready for life so we can learn about people, learn to provide for ourselves. And I think that's about it. Hopefully you have good parents. If your parents are not there for you, hopefully you have like a teacher, a trusted teacher, or an aunt or an uncle, someone that you trust, a school counselor, someone that you can talk to if you feel like all alone or that you have a problem, because children need trusted adults to help them. I don't really work with kids, so I can't do that, but hopefully you have like a therapist, a school counselor, a teacher, good parents, aunt or uncle, adults that can mentor you, guide you, and encourage you, because young children need a lot of encouragement. You need encouragement. Like if you get a C on a test, someone has to be there to say, you really tried. Let's see, what can we do to make it into a B? What can we do? Encourage you to study, encourage you that you're still loved even if you didn't get an A. Someone who's in your corner and has your back and sees that and says that, I'm so glad that you're my child. I'm so glad that you're in my life. That's what every parent should say to their child. I'm so glad that I'm your mother. I'm so glad that I'm your father. I'm so glad that you're in my life. Hopefully you have people talking that way to you, and if you don't, just imagine that someone is saying that to you, because you're all valuable, and children are like beautiful, valuable beings that need a lot of support and encouragement. And I just think the use of smartphones has really robbed a lot of children of the opportunity to become healthy adults, because they all the time that you spend on your phone is time that you're not studying, you're not socializing with people, so you're not learning how to deal with issues in social relationships, dealing with rejection, making friends. And also, there's so much negativity online in terms of, comparing yourself to other people, people who just portray themselves in a false light, like these couples that have all these happy pictures, and then the next year you find out that they got divorced. It was all fake. It's all posturing. It's fake. And then young people think that's real, and it's not. There are a lot of extreme groups, these TikTok videos of women who hate men and men who hate women, and then you think that's real, and it's not. It's just their view of the world. So you have to be careful what you take in, because what you take in into your mind is even more important, or as important as the food you take in. Try to eat healthy, get a good night's sleep, take care of your fitness, take care of your studies, be respectful to your parents, take care of your pets, clean up your room. I mean, I know I'm throwing a lot at you, and I also think it's good for teenagers to have a job, to learn how to apply for a job, to show up for a job, to learn to manage their own money. Hopefully you have an allowance so that you can learn to manage your money. I'm very passionate about helping kids. I just think that kids today have it so much harder because of these smartphones that are not smart. They're keeping you from life, and I have recommended to my children that do not give these grandchildren smartphones till they're in high school. That's a common recommendation. Also, make sure that you do not see any porn. Oh my God, that is going to ruin your sexuality. The kind of stuff that people show on there that's so extreme and violent is not the kind of sex that real women want. So ladies, do not compare yourself to what you see in porn. It's a lot of it is just it's like a form of domestic violence. It's not what real women want. And boys, if you watch that stuff, try not to watch it. Learn about sexuality the way that we all learned, by learning how to talk to a girl, taking her out, figuring out what she enjoys, maybe trying to get a kiss. I think that people are having less sex now, which is probably good, at younger ages. But the way that you learn about women and learn about men should come naturally through your own social interactions and maybe discussions with your friends, and not from these extreme things that you see online. I just think that phones have done a huge disservice to our next generation. And the kids that are really going to make it are the kids that are not on their phones that much. Those are the kids that are really going to thrive and really make it. And it's going to be a small percentage of the youth. I was at a car wash the other day waiting for my car to be washed, and I was looking around, and even all the adults are like this, head down in their phones. Like, how are you ever going to meet anyone? How can you ever learn to be comfortable with yourself if you can't even be with yourself? How is someone ever going to want to be in a relationship with you if you can't even be alone without your phone? Like, how are you ever going to learn to talk to people, interact with people? So I force myself when I go out to eat and so on. It's like, I'm not going to take my phone out. I am just going to be in this moment and what's in front of me. It's a huge crutch that is destroying our society while I'm on my phone making this video. So there's a place for it, right? Reading, books, learning, and things that keep your attention span. If you're not still watching this video, it could be because I'm boring. I don't know. But all these like flashy things, YouTube is promoting shorts. Like the shorter the better, because they know people don't have a long attention span. This is also bad for our brain to be constantly switching the channel, going for 2 second. It's like bad for our brain. It's just not good. So this is just my views. I'm a grandma. I'm 62 years old. Take it or leave it. So this is my video for kids. If there are any kids watching, if you're 13 and up and watching, you know, you probably shouldn't leave a comment online. I don't know what all the rules are, but definitely talk to your parents or so on about what they think about phones, and you know, just see if what I have said makes any sense. So thank you so much for watching my video. If there are any other parents in here, please drop your tips for the youth, teens and young people in their 20s about what, you know, parenting advice or elderly advice for teens is, I guess, what this video is about. Because it takes a village to raise children, and they just need a lot of our input too. Yeah, I don't even see that many kids around anymore. When I was a young mom raising kids, every time I went into Target or the grocery store, we are surrounded by other babies and kids. I hardly ever see a baby anymore. I can't tell you the last time I saw a baby in real life. Like, people are just not having kids like they used to. It's very sad. I love kids, so. But you know, that's just me as a mom. That's why I had kids, because I really like them. So thank you so much for watching my video.